All I can think about now is Disney is It's a Small, Small World.
AJ won't be singing again.
Welcome to the Fitpreneurs, the show that will help you flex your business muscles so you can make more money and live the life you really want. No more complaining, whining, or being a wimp. It's time to pump up your fitness business and push yourself beyond your comfort zone. So no girly man or lazy ladies allowed. It's time for me to do some push-ups and turn things over to my friends AJ Roberts and Simon Lovell. Hasta la vista.
It's unlucky for some. It's episode number 13 of the Fitpreneurs with myself, Simon Lovell.
And me, AJ Roberts. Welcome to our 13th episode. Man, we are chugging along, cranking these out weekly.
It's like the marketing and sales train of the fitness professionals.
Yeah, it's cool. So many people have been listening, and it grows every week. And what's really cool is to meet people who have been listening, or to get messages from people who have been listening. So, guys, we appreciate you out there downloading the episodes, listening to the episodes, and, taking action. We'll be talking about some guys who wrote in later who have taken some action and had some good results. So that's coming up. Today we're going to be talking about community building for your fitness business, how to basically create a community, a family feeling for obviously long-term success, but also success of the clients day to day. And all of that fun jazz. So before we get into that, as always, we're going to do a little catch up and find out what's been going on in our worlds. As I think some people are more interested in that than they are the rest of the show.
Well, that's debatable, but there you go. But before we do that, guys, we want to hear from you. Go to thefitpreneurs.com. Also head into iTunes and hit the 5-star review. We would love to hear from you. As always, thank you very much. So on Friday afternoon, I was here in Bath in my maisonette, as they call it, and I was like, I've got the weekend, I've got nothing planned, so I thought I would just book a random hotel. So I put on Facebook, guys, where's good to go within a couple of hours of Bath? And a couple of people commented and said that the Celtic Manor, which is just inside of Wales. I don't know if I can do that. Wales?
Your Welsh accent.
Wales. Oh, that's awful. Okay, we'll carry on with that. And so I booked into this hotel, and when I got there, I realised that there's a celebrity golf game going on with Rod Brydon, comedian, with some guy from Desperate Housewives, Peter Jones from Dragon's Den. If you're in the States, and that's kind of Shark Tank, and so these celebrities started to kind of coming in, and then what happened was on the Saturday night. I was kind of just mulling around reception as about 6:30, 7 o'clock, and then I was going up the lift up to my room, and all these people dressed up. I said, "What's happening?" They said, "Oh, it's a gala dinner." So I was like, "Okay, I've not got a ticket for this gala dinner. What can I do?" And I put my James Bond hat on. So I went upstairs. I got my jacket. I fortunately brought a jacket with me. Put a shirt on, and then I went down to this gala dinner, and still not having a ticket. So I bypassed security, just like James Bond, or Mission Impossible, and then went down this escalator. And as I got to the bottom, I casually picked the glass of champagne that was presented to me, and I was like, "Simon Lovell, you have just done something rather naughty, but this is kind of James Bond." So then I was feeling rather awesome, and I went out into the patio area, and then all these celebrities started coming out, and I was just chatting to them. There's Brian McFadden from Boyzone or Westlife or whichever one. Got chatting to him, and then people started taking pictures with me, going like, "You're off of the TV show, aren't you?" And I was just "Yay, whatever." And
technically you've been on TV a few times.
Well, this is true. So
maybe there's some of those old fans saw that pole dancing episode of you prancing around in your spandex.
Well, this is true. So these people were asking to take pictures with me, which is cool. And then I just started drinking. I started getting on it, and I was necking the cider and blackback. And about 8 pints later or so, it was celebrity gala dinner was on, and I'd got in with no ticket, and there's all these celebrities running around, and it got to they always have like a charity auction. And it was kind of about 11 o'clock at night. And then basically this charity auction started with this prize, which was a bit rubbish to begin with. But then Rob Brydon, who's this comedian, got up and said, I'm going to improve this prize by having like a celebrity dinner with me at the Ivy with a bunch of other celebrities. And I'm like, this would be good for like investing in this just to get in this social network of celebs. So then I was like a bit kind of drunk, I'll be honest. And so I started to bid, and it started at 500, and then it went to, bear in mind, most of the bids for the items were going for between 250 and like £1,000. So this started at about 500. Of course, there's more added value now because it's a dinner at the Ivy, a top restaurant in London. And then I start bidding, and it goes up, and it goes to 1,000, 2,000, 2,500, 3,000, and suddenly, like, all the heads start turning, like, back of the room, front of the room, who's, like, bidding on it. And I was just feeling like I was a little bit swaying. I actually finished my drink, and then my heart started pounding, so everyone's looking at me, but the bids are going up. And then some woman just turns to me and sees my drink's empty, and then she's like, do you want some wine? I'm like, cool. So I took the wine off her, started drinking some more, and then it got up to, like, 4,000, 4,500. Final bid, 4,750. Guy at the back of the room. Anyway, I didn't get it, and it went for like 5,000 for charity. So I played my part in getting that up to like £5,000, which I thought was a bit of fun. But what's the lesson I learned from that? Like, I just went away for this random weekend in Wales, and Wales. And suddenly I find myself at a celebrity gala dinner, chilling with the likes of Peter Jones from Dragon's Den, with, you know, actors from Desperate Housewives, bidding on some charity auction. And I just was like, sometimes you need to step out of your comfort zone, do what others aren't willing to do, and just take opportunities. And that was my little story.
Yeah, and you know what's crazy about that is you were getting away because I know with things have been hectic for you, and you kind of just wanted some time to kind of decompress and recharge. And you know, you went, like you said, you went away with no expectations, totally set to have a relaxing weekend, and you know, you ended up in this amazing place. And I think that, you know, most of us, a lot of times, once we get out of our environment that we surround ourselves in daily, amazing things happen, whether it's, you know, hanging out with celebrities or something else. Like, typically when we remove ourselves from what we do day to day and we go and we do something different, it does create these opportunities, it seems. And it seems kind of surreal. But unless you go and get yourself out of your normal environment and you know, put yourself somewhere else, none of these opportunities ever come up. And I think that's a lesson in itself, to kind of plan these. And I think you know, Dan Sullivan, who is a very successful leadership coach and mentor to many of the top you know, experts in the world, he has people plan these, you know, completely work-free days where they just take the entire day off and to go do something. And you hear lots of stories from those guys when they're talking about it, and the opportunities and the things that come about during those work-free days is amazing. And I think that a lot of people could do that. I think if you look at what you're doing right now with your fitness business, whether you're an online fitness expert, whether you're running a studio or, you know, personal training boot camp, you know, box, whatever it is, you know, if you're in the gym 7 days a week and it's the same grind daily, that's going to take its toll on you. It's going to crush your creativity. It's going to crush your ability to think of ideas and come up with, you know, all these things that will move your business forward. And sometimes you just need to take a day away. And you know, if you're in a situation where you can't take a day away, then you need to kind of start looking at, you know, how do I make this happen? Because it's crucial. It's as crucial to take time off as it is to be working, you know, on the business versus in the business. And so, you know, I think that's a great little story that, you know, happened to you, because it's proof that time away is just as important as working, you know, on the business.
And also, I mean, you know, going back to the actual reason for why I was going in the first place, it really did give me a chance to, you know, look at things from a different perspective. Just kind of, you know, we'll do a bit of work, but also just in a relaxed environment. And I do find that those days where I do, you know, go to somewhere completely different, like a coffee shop, or, you know, just somewhere where my environment's different, then I do get different ideas. I am able to just you know, just connect at a different level. And I really think that especially if you're a fit pro and you're doing a day-to-day grind of training people, going home, and you're in this kind of cycle, just literally just look at your diary, see the next gap, and just plan something completely different, and you will be excited by the outcome. Maybe you'll meet some celebrities. Maybe you'll get drunk on cider and black and embarrass yourself in front of maybe 500 people. Maybe not. Who knows? AJ, what's been happening with you?
Well, it's a side weekend, 4th of July over here. It's kind of a bittersweet moment for a British guy living in the States, the celebration of itself, separation from England. And so people say happy 4th, and you got to, well, not exactly. But, we don't, it's funny, like we don't really grow up learning about, when the America took back, or the, people who are classify themselves as Americans now decided to split from the British ruling or whatever. But, it's kind of a celebration. Families get together, fireworks, all that fun stuff. So it was a good weekend. Went up and hung out with, Andy and Mike and people from the office on Friday, and then went and watched the fireworks. I actually found a spot. So here in San Diego, they have 5 different shows that go off simultaneously. So they're placed in different places, and they go off at the same time, the same show. And we went and found a spot where we could overlook and watch all 5 of those sets of fireworks going off. So, the whole sky was illuminated, and all this amazing fireworks show. That's always fun. I love the fireworks, and we're lucky here every night there's fireworks down at SeaWorld. And so we can watch fireworks whenever we want. But this is just an even more amazing show to celebrate the 4th. And of course, it's good times, and time to the people reflect on freedom and things like that. And I find it funny a little bit, because a lot of people celebrate their freedom and then they're back to work on Sunday complaining about their job. And so, I feel very blessed to be, an entrepreneur, to be able to, make my own schedule and do my own thing. And those listening are obviously the same. Fitpreneurs are definitely people who have found that independence and are running things their way. So, a great day to celebrate that. And even with the 4th, as I'm getting ready for this Spartan race, and cleaned my diet up last week. I didn't actually clean it up. I just switched it over. I felt like I was eating way too much food. So I took some meals out, replaced them with shakes and things like that. And, I've dropped 10 pounds in the last week, which is always fun and inspiring. And the great thing is a lot of people who I know who are on diets and stuff like that also, even with the 4th, managed to stay on track and drop weight over this past week or two. That's always the big fear with holidays and things like that, is falling off that bandwagon. And the really the coolest thing that's happened really in the last year is my weight loss story really inspired my sister, and she embarked on her own weight loss and crusade. And she's done phenomenal. She's lost a lot of weight, and she continues to push. And she messaged me this morning and wants to get into the nutrition and fitness space. She's looking at career change, and so I'm super pumped up because to share that passion with a sibling, and to be able to mentor her a little bit and help her with the business side of things, it's going to be a lot of fun for me. And she's like me. She's very focused, very directed, and so I can only see good things happening there. So I'm jazzed up to get that message this morning. And I love inspiring people and helping people, and so many people have reached out over the years and who have been inspired. And it's just always good when, it's a family member or a close friend that you inspire, because there's, a little bit more attachment to that. And it's great to see. I love it.
It's funny what you say about, people wanting to go into nutrition and fitness after, having a change themselves. And if you've been a personal trainer for any length of time, then you're going to have had a client that you've taken on who has suddenly been inspired to be a personal trainer themselves. And I know that when I was a trainer, I had definitely a few people who decided to, whether they were going to become a spin instructor or an exercise to music instructor or personal trainer, it is a great feeling to have someone go from, maybe overweight and lacking in confidence to actually wanting to go into the industry themselves. So high five to anyone that's listening that has had that. And actually it'd be interesting to to get your responses into the Fitpreneurs page if you've inspired someone to take that journey, and maybe you've even you got your own studio or boot camp and they've actually become a member of staff. That can happen a lot too. So
and you know what? I bet you a lot of people who are listening have that story themselves.
Yeah.
Where they maybe grew up as an overweight kid, or grew up as a skinny kid, and gone into the fitness side of things, or the strength and conditioning side of things, or the nutrition side of things, all because they wanted to take charge of their life. And that's what really, those stories are very powerful. But it really plays right into our topic today in terms of building a powerful community. And I think that, when you create an environment where, in essence, people have success and, they have, transformational change, it's only natural for them to want to continue on that path. And for you to have led them to that, that's just a phenomenal thing. And it's really the highest, I guess, sense of endorsement for you and for your programs is when someone is that inspired where they want to change their careers and they want to follow in your footsteps.
Absolutely. And whether you are going into having your own product or building out something offline, building a community first before you actually even look into the product is a great thing to do, because you can start to get reaction from the community and they can lead you down the path of this is what we want as opposed to what you believe that they want. And so this is what we're going to be talking about today. AJ's put together 5 steps of building a powerful community, and once you do that, not only are able to build a business relatively quickly, but you get a real great sense of satisfaction from the amount of people that you're helping, and you can really pick a niche, or you can even go a bit broader. But what you're essentially doing is just over a period of time, the community builds and it builds and it builds, and you start to build up momentum, and that can really start to deliver fantastic things for your business, but also for your sense of satisfaction, because you've gone into this industry for a reason, to help people. And the more you build a community, which you can easily start from scratch today, the more you're going to feel fulfilled in doing what you're doing.
Yeah, and if you look outside of the fitness industry, I'm very much a big fan of looking at businesses that are successful outside of the industry. And one of the most successful businesses is Starbucks. And if you've read the book Starbucks Experience, you know what I'm talking about here. But one of their biggest things is creating a community feeling within Starbucks, and that's why you have the couches, the fires. That's why they get to know you by name when you come in. If you're a regular order, that's why you can customize your orders. So it's personal touch. It's why you can buy coffee cups to reuse. It's all part of being a part of that Starbucks community. And really, that brings people back is because they feel a part of a family. And I think that that's important. And there's a lot of businesses that have that make you feel a part of something. And that's really where if you can do that within your business, whether you, like Simon says, whether you're online, whether you're offline, if you can create a community where they feel they belong, they're going to stay, and they're going to stay for a long time. But what we're going to talk about today is really, number one, how to build that community, and then how to keep that community. Because just because someone comes into that community, there's always a chance that they'll leave if they're not getting their needs met. So let's jump right in. Let's start with number one. And I think that this is important. We always talk about getting results, but I think we need to talk about one of the foundational things for a community is creating consistent progress, which goes beyond just results in terms of weight loss or strength or something like that. And so consistent progress, what we're talking about here is really creating the ability for them to continue to see improvement day after day, week after week, month after month, even if they've been with you for a year, even if they've been with you for 2 years. And so what might start off as a weight loss goal may turn into a strength goal or a flexibility or technique improvement. Like maybe there's exercises they can't do, like pistols or pull-ups or stuff like that. And so creating consistent progress, continued results is really one of the key things to creating a powerful community, because if people always are making progress, they're not going to be dissatisfied. They're not going to lose interest. But the other thing too is new people who come into that community are going to be able to future pace, because they're going to be able to see where someone is. And when that person says they've been there for 2 years, it's seeding that thought right away in that new prospect's mind that in 2 years I'm going to be as good as that person. Or they're going to say, I want to get there quicker, but they're going to see what someone, maybe they'll see the before and after pictures. Maybe they'll hear the success stories that you share, but they're going to be able to see themselves, and they're going to be surrounded by others. And so obviously, if you're offline and you actually have a facility, this is very easy to do, because we can run group classes, we can have pictures on the wall, we can send out newsletters. If you're online, you're going to have to create this with something like a Facebook group or a place where they can come and check in and basically share their progress. But these are the things that we need to be able to think about, is how do we show the results of other people? How do we continue to get results so it moves from one thing to the next thing to the next thing? So we're always pushing, we're always chasing something to stay motivated and to stay committed, right?
Definitely. I mean, a simple thing you can do is just by having different color T-shirts for each time someone progresses to a different level. And people love apparel, right? They love training gear. And so you could just do that. It's simple to implement. And a lot of the times I find that trainers, they just do the day-to-day things. So they take on a new client, they put them into the program, they start training them, and they're never looking a lot of the time of how do I improve, how do I get better results. And, we talked last episode about me hitting a particular income goal, and that's because I'm constantly asking that question, how do I get better results from my clients? Introducing, accountability, where people have to log in and track their results so that I can see them, so that I can prod and virtual prod people that aren't pulling their weight. And so if you're constantly just assessing things, maybe they have to go in and, one of my clients does this thing where they have to go in and put like a star on like a board and, start tracking results. And after every session, they go and do that. And again, it's just creating this different level. What can you do to take your training and your community to that next level? Because, like AJ's saying, like, people want to be part of a community, but it's that disconnection of leaving the community that people are willing, they don't want to do. And that's why they'll stay invested for a very, very long time.
Right. And if you don't, if you only get results from them at the beginning, no matter how dedicated they are to the community, they're going to start to feel like an outsider, because they're going to not be getting their needs met. And I think that, we talk about this with the business side of things, but if you're not always growing, you feel stagnant and stuck. And when you feel like that, that's when the dissatisfaction comes into play. And you don't necessarily you don't blame the person you're working with, or blame the person that is leading you, because a lot of times you just feel like maybe you've outgrown them. And that's the last thing we want people to do with our workout programs, our nutrition programs, or any other health and fitness thing we're offering them. We don't want them to feel like they've outgrown us. We want them to feel like they can grow with us. And as they progress, we're able to meet their needs and continually satisfy that hunger. And I think that, the side benefit to this, which is really the biggest client referral system you're going to have, is those results, And when people see that, people are going to ask those people, what are you doing? How are you doing it? And they're going to tell, oh, yeah, I've been training here. I've been training there for a year, 2 years, 3 years. And that gets rid of this thought process that someone's going to come in, they're going to train with you for 12 weeks to get a result, and then they're going to disappear. And so it's so crucial, because if you're going to rely on a referral system, which I think is the most powerful marketing tool you have as a business owner, fitness business owner, if you're going to rely on referral marketing, having this consistent progress in your community is key to having a successful referral program.
100%. And the more you focus on the results, the more referrals you're going to get, and the more referrals you get, the more people they'll bring in, and everything will start to grow like a newly planted plant that grows rapidly.
What plants do grow rapidly? There's those trees that literally within a year they're huge, right?
Well, I'm going to go to Google now and type in the fastest growing plant. Let's see.
Let's find that out. Well, while you're doing that, I'll move on to the second, fundamental.
So bamboo.
Thing.
The bamboo is the fastest growing plant on Earth with reported growth rates of 250 centimeters in 24 hours. AJ.
24 hours.
This episode is all about growing your fitness business like bamboo.
There you go. That's the tagline. There you go. So number 2 of building a powerful community is the shared experience, or shared experiences, I should say. And a lot of people, they kind of have this because they do the workouts together, right? A boot camp, CrossFit gyms, they do the WODs, they do the workout. And they do it together, so it's a shared experience. People are training together, right? Same if we have an online program. People are following the same program, reporting their progress. But it goes beyond that. It's the shared experiences as a whole in terms of events that you go to, events that you hold, things like that. And it's about creating a culture where they're hanging out together and they're really experiencing life together. And that could be you bringing in an expert on if you own a facility. And you mostly do workouts. It could be you bringing in a nutrition expert. It could be bringing in a physical therapist to talk about ways that they can be healthier. And all these different things that you can create to create shared experiences where together they grow, together they learn, together they struggle and suffer, and all of these different things. And that shared experience creates the bond. And I think that that's very important, is creating a bond between your members. So it's not just a bond with you, right? It's a bond with the community. That way you can step in, can step out. You can have a trainer run your classes for you, so you can focus on running the gym. You can have online trainers run your programs for you so you can focus. But all of those things, I think, are important.
Definitely. And also, once you start to build a community and people start to get faster results, then when new people come into that community, the people that have progressed naturally on will actually want to help the newbies that come in to accelerate them faster. And so the people that have been in there for a while feel that sense of helping others, and they feel good without you having to invest in that. And then naturally what can happen is sometimes you can actually start taking on your clients as, admin assistants, as maybe trainers in the future, and they just feel that sense of progression. And so then it just has this compound effect of once you start to build this community, maybe it's within a group, a Facebook group, whatever, it naturally starts to run itself because you've had so many people progress through. And then that's where you start to get this community effect. And like AJ uses the word culture, that's really, really important to actually build a culture within your business.
Right. And I think that, there's certain work. So like CrossFit's a great example where they have standard workouts they do and everyone goes through and does those. It's a shared experience. Everyone knows how much they suck, how much they hurt. You look at a Spartan race, or you look at Tough Mudder, and everyone who does those goes through and experiences, and there's this shared experience. So you can do the same thing, even if you're not a part of any of those communities, you can create these same shared experiences within your facilities, within your programs, whether it's online, whether it's offline. And it's just thinking about how do we create this shared experience and get people to, really bond with one another. And it really leads us to number 3 for building a powerful community, and that's shared success. And I think that that's so important in terms of, when people are successful, when people have results, you need to share that. People need to see that. People need to see success, and they need to see that other people achieving more and more and more. And the more you can present them with that, the more they have the I can too attitude, and the more praise and pride they have in the program, because they see other people and they're happy for those people and they push those people, and then those people raise them up. And I think that that's so important. So, we have the shared experience, but then we share the success, and we really highlight our best members. We bring those people to light. We make them heroes in the community. And all of those things lead to, a better community.
And it helps people, avoid excuses too. Whenever people are posting successes, whenever I take on a client, I'm always post your first win in the group. And, on some days there's more than others, but it just really, the energy, you feel a different energy in the group when people are posting their successes, posting their new after pictures, for example. And another good thing that you can do is get people to buddy up, having people that are slightly ahead and having those buddy up with people who are quite new. And then, everyone can, be connected together, but also then you can have little small groups forming and people start to build proper lifelong friendships from this. And that's actually what you're doing. You're not just helping them get fit, you're not just helping them get healthy, you're actually building friendships.
Yeah, and I like to use oftentimes the church as a great example of an organization that can build a strong community. Now, I'm not getting into faith or beliefs or anything like that, so bear with me as you listen. But if you look at what the church has done, so the church has a unique event each week, on the weekend, and
on a Sunday.
Well, some churches meet on Saturday. That's why I said the weekend. So, but they have a unique gathering where everyone comes together. Then they also have another service, typically midweek. Okay, and some churches have a service every day, just like we would have a workout every day. So some church, so the majority at least have, on the weekend service and a midweek service, usually a Wednesday service. Beyond that, then they have Bible study groups, okay? And then they have men's breakfasts, they have women's experiences. And so all of this is a part of the church. And so all of this can be a part of your gym. So what you may find is you may have a specific class or program for one set of goals, okay? And that's your general statement for your gym, okay? That's your general programming or for your boot camp or whatever it is. But then you bring in specialists or you create specialized programs, right? For diet, for nutrition, for, like Olympic lifts or kettlebells or power lifts. And you can have these little clubs that form and compete, and you create this atmosphere, and together they're going to have their own success, they're going to have their own experiences, and that really is going to fuel, because it's all under the umbrella of your gym, your programs, whatever it is that you're running, but you're providing these outlets, and that is powerful. And I think people underestimate that. And I'm not saying you have to try to be the expert on everything. Like I said, you can bring other people in and you can partner with other people to make it easy for yourself. But at the end of the day, it's about creating continuous results through continuous progress, through experiences and success.
And then also, your community can link up with other communities, and it's a great excuse to get involved with joint ventures with local businesses, charities, because you've got more than just a training business. You've actually got a culture, a community, a group of people that are wanting to aspire to be a bit bigger, and then you can help other businesses that are non-competing build a community too with you, and that's just a great way to then get even more clients to add to your community, and that's where it can start to really grow bigger and bigger and bigger.
Absolutely. I think we could go so deep with this, but I think the people probably get it, and we're beating on a drum a little bit. But I think it's just so important, and I think people just need to start thinking about this. And it's bigger than just the one thing that they're offering, and they need to look at it in terms of this, because if we look at long-term success, we look at the compounding effect of the business. We don't want to continue. We don't want our business to rely on new clients, right? We want our business to rely on the results of the clients we're getting, the referrals the clients are bringing us in, and then selling more to our current clients. If we rely on new all the time, we're constantly chasing our tails. So great stuff so far. If you would agree?
No.
No. You're always the awkward one.
I know. I just want to always be awkward. There you go. Number 4. Which is milestones and levels. So
basically, I think that, this goes back to the consistent progress, but it's creating, we're creating success and progress here with milestones and levels. So for instance, if someone's never worked out, you may have a beginner's program, and in order to get into the regular class, they have to graduate that beginner's program. That gives them a sense of success. It also qualifies them to be on, a certain level. All right. And then once they've achieved that, within the regular class, and you see this in CrossFit a lot, where they modify the workouts and they have what they call RX, and then they have modified workouts. You can create similar things in your classes through modifications, but then there's a level within that where it's like there's a standard level in terms of achievement, right? And then you want to continually progress. So a lot of gyms, they'll have advanced programming where they incorporate harder movements, or they make movements harder by adding weight or things like that. If it was a body weight, like a pistol, they may do a pistol with a kettlebell, which is a lot harder than just a regular pistol. Pistol is obviously a lot harder than a lunge or a one split squat. Okay. So they're creating these different levels within programs so people can ascend. And if you look at the martial arts community, and if we actually go back to what Simon was saying earlier with the T-shirts, the different colored T-shirts for different, achievements, the same thing is here. People are going to want to progress if you show that there is progress. And so in the martial arts community, obviously they go from belt to belt to belt. So think about ways you can incorporate a similar thing into your training business so people continually move forward, because they feel a sense of accomplishment when they do that. And that is a big thing for people. If they feel like they're achieving and they're moving forward in life, and you're the catalyst for that, they're going to be loyal to you because you're the person who's pushing. You're the person who's creating opportunities. You're the person who is leading them. And, that is something that you just don't find a lot of places. You're not going to find a lot of competition doing this. It's going to separate you from the crowd. It's going to draw people in, and it's going to keep people in and for as long as you want. And so, you've got to have that system in place to allow them to move forward. And then, and at some point actually feel like they've achieved something. We can't just move forward blindly. We have to have goals to shoot for so we can be focused on it and, milestones, and then boom, move us forward, move us forward, move us forward.
When someone comes on board with you, typically their vision of where they're going is much shorter than your vision, because you have a vision greater than they have. And so what you want to do is you want to basically just grab a piece of paper, for example, and just draw a line down, a horizontal line across the paper, and then just mark off, say, 10 markings across the middle, like a ladder, okay, through the middle. And then just imagine that this is a customer timeline, and you've got someone that, for example, has been doing exercise DVDs at home, okay, and the next progression for them might be to join a fitness class just to get their confidence up before they even hire you. And then, for example, they get their confidence up in a fitness class, and then they go, well, maybe I should get a personal trainer now. Okay, so that's 3 steps down in the timeline. Okay, so the next step would be hiring you. Okay, so that's 4 steps in the timeline. But now, imagine you've got another 10 or 20 steps beyond that. What are the steps in your process that you could put in to move them and ascend them through your relationship together? And don't in your head believe that they're going to be with you a month, 2 months, 3 months. Just imagine that they're going to be with you a year, 2 years, 3 years, and really map out their progression. Because once you do that in your head, you'll probably start to get clients stay with you much longer, because you're just in your head, you're future pacing them, and then you can explain to them that this is a long-term journey, and they can get much more excited about the journey with you.
Exactly. And that's really all we're trying to do here is not only get them excited at the beginning, but always excited. We never want the people we work with to not want to come and show up and be with us. We want them excited about coming to hang out with us, And I think that oftentimes we're so wrapped up in the new people and making sure that they're happy, we let our old clients go. And I've seen it where, in a class where someone is more experienced, they'll get left and they won't get the coaching. Even though they're more experienced and they're better, doesn't mean they don't need coaching, right? But because we know they've been there, they know what they're doing, we kind of ignore them and we focus on the people who are new and maybe need more attention. And that person over there, as much as we think they've got it and we think that they're happy, the truth is they're thinking to themselves, I'm not getting any help here. I still need, they still need help. When I was training at Westside Barbell, we were the best in the world. I had 2 world records. every training session, I had guys there yelling at me about technique, about like how to, be better, things I needed to work on. No matter what level you're at, you always need help. And you have to remember that with your clients. Just because you have a boot camp and you can handle 100 people, you got to think to yourself, how do I keep these people engaged? How do I keep these people motivated? You can expand beyond, but you have to figure out how to keep the people excited. And they get excited when they get that attention. Okay, so how do you do that? And milestones, levels, those things create excitement for them, because it's almost like a graduation. They've gotten to a point. Boom, they're rewarded for that. And other people see it. Other people then aspire to be like that. But for them, it gives them consistent progress. And that's what we've been talking about here. And I think that if you do that, you're going to see that the gym, the atmosphere, whether, on the gym, whether on your online programs, the atmosphere changes because now they see things that they should shoot for. You're creating new goals for them, and it's not always going to be about that same goal that they signed up for, which might be to lose 10 pounds or to gain 10 pounds. It's boom, new goal, new goal, new goal, new goal. Things they didn't even think about when they first started. You've already planned out, because let's be honest, most people's fitness journeys are very similar. They want to get in shape. Then when they get in shape, they want to gain some muscle because, they don't have this muscle group or that muscle group. And then they want their performance to go up. They want to be flexible. They want to be able to perform the movements pain-free, all these different things. And so we can easily sit down and think about what's the natural progression and how do we create milestones for that.
Now, we're not saying that you need to do workouts in a onesie. However, the next point is creating your own language and dress code, which you can get really creative on. Like, I say that because I just love the whole onesie thing. That's just my thing. All right. But having your own kind of training gear and having your own kind of, way that you approach things in terms of what you say and, maybe the types of workouts and the names of them. Many people are just put people into training, but there's no kind of creativity there in terms of like the names of the workouts and stuff. And something I like about CrossFit is that, Greg Glassman just introduced like all the names of like the girls, and then that has spawned then different training gear based on the girls' names, and the way that people talk about the workouts is different because they're called girls, that type of thing.
Yeah, and this goes across so many different industries, and if we go outside the fitness industry, let's look at like Harley Davidson owners, right? So you buy a Harley Davidson motorcycle, you become a part of a club. You're listed as a Harley Davidson owner, and you're a special group, you're in a special community. But Harley Davidson riders wear Harley Davidson clothes, right? There's no reason that someone who works out at your facility shouldn't be wearing a T-shirt of yours, or the girls wearing booty shorts with your logo on it, right? It goes to the next level if you have an awesome logo, and I'm not huge on like branding in that sense with logos and stuff like that. I think it's important, but let's be honest. People, if they get passionate enough, they'll tattoo their logo of brands they're fans of, right? You got people with Nike tattoos and all sorts of things. And I remember when I was a kid and I was playing basketball, I almost got an And One tattoo. Because I was fascinated by that brand. So, you want to think of ways you can create that, from water bottles to clothing to hats to things like that. Not only do they want to wear your clothes and be a part of the gym culture and basically support that and show it off to their friends and their family and stuff like that, but also it's a walking billboard for you. So it's a no-brainer in terms of investment to have this for them. It goes in terms of the language, the things you can do. And I was just working with a private client out here this weekend, Matt Holmes, and we were working on his TACWADS business model and building it out from what he has now to pretty much, an entire fitness empire that he wants to have planned. But it's very military based. Obviously, he's a former airborne military man, and a lot of his training is around the tactical side of training. And so when we started looking at using own language, we started looking at words and things that he can bring in that are unique to his tactical community that he's going to build out in terms of tests that they're going to do for PT tests that they're called in the military. He's going to have certain tests. We're going to, instead of like CrossFit has the girls they use, and they have the hero wads, right? We're looking at things he can use, words he can use in terms of for workouts, and giving, setting workouts up or setting challenges up that utilize, military type language. Obviously the people that are going to be attracted to a tactical community are going to be people probably who are interested in guns. It's mostly going to be male. Let's be honest. The military is mostly male dominant. The females who are attracted to it are the same females who want to play football in high school or they want to be involved in. So we don't necessarily have to, marketing wise, like, you get to pick who you work with. You can pick your niches. You don't have to work with both male and female. And so, we laid out a plan that's very heavy towards, a masculine shoot guns kind of thing. We're building language around that for that business. And so you can do the same thing with what you have going on, and you can pick, language to do that. And so let's say, let's look at the Spartan race. Spartan race uses Spartan boot camp. They have, they say Spartan up. They have the Spartan rules. All of these things. Think about what you can do. So whatever your gym is called or whatever your program's let's look at what language you can use that becomes unique to that community, because it makes people feel like belong. They feel like they're on the inside. They're in the club if they know what you're talking about, right? And even still with CrossFit, there's still a huge community. There's still a huge group of people in the world that don't know that CrossFit language, right? They don't know what a WOD is or an AMRAP or on the minute or anything like that. And so it's not a secret language, but it is a secret language, right? And if you look at, let's look at In-N-Out Burger over here. In-N-Out Burger is a very famous burger group, but they have a secret menu. Now, you can go online and look up the secret menu, but when you go into the restaurant and you look at the burger menu, none of that stuff's listed, right? But once you know there's a secret menu, you feel like you're in the club once you know what you're on it. So it's all about creating this in the club feeling and this community feeling with the language and with the dress. And that really makes people feel as if they're part of something. And that's what we're trying to do here with these 5 things.
Yeah, once people start talking about something which they have access to that other people don't, that's when you get them wanting to ascend to that VIP level, which is what we've talked to you guys before about in a previous episode. I can't remember which one it was, but we covered that in a previous episode. So yeah, definitely, you can just get creative with this, but it takes some time to just sit down and, you go and book a hotel away or whether you spend an evening doing it, just grab yourself a whiteboard, grab yourself some sticky notes and just get this stuff into action, because it doesn't take long. It doesn't, it's not something that we're asking you to spend a shitload of money on. It's just something that you can do through your own ideas and just implementing it as quickly as you like. It's really easy to do. Yeah,
so just to wrap up those 5 things, again, number 1, consistent progress.
Number 2, I was going to vary up and alternate them. Number 2, shared experiences.
Number 3, shared success.
Number 4, milestones and levels.
Number 5, your own language and dress code. The reason, Simon, I was going to do those is I know you struggle with numbers, and
okay.
I didn't want you to be saying number 3 on number 2, and I know how you have a tough time counting some days.
Every day, in fact.
All right, let's move on to the shout-outs from around the web.
So, thank you very much to Malcolm Taylor, who's just recently set up a Facebook ad campaign after listening to episode number 10. So, congratulations to you, and hopefully you've got those leads coming in and you're starting to convert those into paying clients.
And also, congratulations to, I think it's Khaled Mastri. If I'm saying that wrong, Khaled, I apologize. But
I think that was completely wrong, to be fair.
Well, he can write in and complain about it, but shout out to him nonetheless. He said, just want to stop by and say thank you for all the coaching you've given me through the podcast. I took the coaching, created a 4-week summer slim down challenge, and so far have 20 people signed up. Good, that's phenomenal. Congratulations. And, if you're listening and you've been implementing what we've been telling you and you've just been sitting quiet, let us know. Send us a message on Facebook, either to Simon or to myself, and we'll share that with our viewers. But it's really cool to hear. A lot of people have said to me personally that they've have been implementing and they're seeing some fantastic stuff. We're up at 13 episodes now. Me and Simon don't hold back on any of this stuff. We give you our best, and honestly, a lot of people could just take what we're doing and see dramatic improvement in their fitness businesses by implementing this week after week after week. So congratulations to you two, and to anyone else out there who is basically taking our advice and running with it.
And to everyone that's not,
get on it.
Stop that. The weekly challenge. So we want you to take one of the 5 things we talked about in today's episode and create your own plan to implement it over the next week or so. Do not, guys, just sit on this information and not do anything with it. Pointless in doing that. That's like you giving a nutrition plan to one of your clients and then just not actioning it. You wouldn't like that.
Yeah, well, I just want to say something. You said a thing about people listening who haven't taken action, and there's going to be a lot of people who have done that. And I want to just with this week's challenge is to take what we're talking about today, even if it's just one of the things, and start to implement it. And the reason we always break the challenges down into very, very simple tasks is because I think that people underestimate the impact of small steps, right? And they hear about all the things we're talking about, and it kind of overwhelms them. They don't know where to start. And the truth is, it doesn't matter where you start. The point is to get started and to take a small step forward every single day. And when you do that, over the next, 6, 8, 12 months, all of a sudden you'll look back and you'll be like, holy smokes, have I seen some big improvements? But it doesn't happen by, just saying, okay, I'm going to do it all right now. And I'll refer back to when I was, competing in powerlifting. I didn't break the world record overnight. It took me 10 years to get there. And we often talk about, a lot of people talk about overnight success. When you go back and you look at an overnight success story, most of the times there's 8 years, 10 years of work that went into becoming an overnight success. And so, if you're there and you're wondering where to get started, I'm going to tell you it doesn't matter. Pick something, move forward. Then pick the next thing, move forward. Eventually, it's all going to come together. And all of a sudden, it will be this tipping point, and boom, you'll be off to the races. So, if you haven't taken any action, don't worry about it. Don't worry about the things you haven't done. Let's just focus on what you're going to do in the next week, and that's implement something that we've shared today. You do that, you're one step closer to moving forward to where you want to be.
I'm going to disagree. I'm going to say if you've listened to 13 episodes now and not taken any action, don't listen to another one.
Unless you take action after today.
Well, exactly that. So, just kidding.
You can't just tell people to go away.
I'm sorry.
I bet you Pete Bennett's listening. Pete listens to all our shows, and he's saying, "I don't even run a fitness business, so how am I supposed to take this action?" So,
No,
but I bet you he'll figure out a way to implement it into his business. Pete,
because he is a badass.
He is a badass. For those listening, Pete runs a multilingual translation company that does all sorts of powerful stuff. So it's cool. This podcast reaches a lot of people, not just inside the fitness and health industry, but also outside. So we appreciate all listeners, and we love hearing about everyone's success. So
thank you, Pete, for your recent shout out and appreciating us. We appreciate you, buddy, and your honest videos. So on to the quote of the week, which is by Cornyn Nemec. Never let life impede your ability to manifest your dreams. Dig deeper into your dreams and deeper into yourself, and believe that anything is possible, and make it happen.
Boom. Whoa. I love this quote. I picked this quote this week. I didn't let Simon pick the quote.
Well, actually, you deleted it. You deleted the quote which I added in and just replaced it with this awful one.
I thought it was from last week. I didn't see you updated. But no, this quote to me, it's a staple of my life. I believe anything is possible, and I don't have any doubts about that. And I recently had the privilege of talking to a branch of the military and sharing some stuff on goal setting with them. And before I got started, I asked a simple question, and that was, how many of you guys truly believe you can achieve anything you want to achieve? And unfortunately, out of a room about 30 people, only 3 people raised their hand. And so that was the first thing I addressed. And so, if you're listening to this, You've got to have this belief that anything is possible. I'm telling you, Simon will tell you the same thing. And once you have that belief and you believe in yourself, your dreams, anything you desire, things will start to move in that direction, and you'll be amazed at the things that happen, because it's unexplainable, but it all comes from that belief in yourself and the belief that anything is possible.
It's like magic happening all around you.
No, it is, and it sounds really foo-foo-y. It sounds really fluffy. It sounds really
I love a foo-foo.
But the truth is, and like the deeper you go, the more you just have to accept that some things are unexplainable, and they just, when you are in sync and you're in line and you're in the state of flow, amazing things happen. But in order to get there, you have to believe in yourself. You have to believe in your mission. You have to believe that what you want to achieve is possible. And then once you have that, and you shed those doubts and those worries and the thought process that it's not going to happen, once you shed that and you just focused on not that it can't happen, but just you have to figure out how to make it happen, things change, become so powerful. And that daily question you ask yourself, it just plays right into this.
Make it happen, guys. Peace. So, guys, we want you to leave a review. Please head over to iTunes and give us a review. Tell us what you think. We do go into there and check that out. And if you do value us at all, the value that we're bringing you for free, please go there and give us a 5-star review, please. Thank you.
And again, you can check out our Facebook page, facebook.com/Fitpreneurs, or you can hook up with us on Facebook. I'm facebook.com/AJ Roberts, and Simon is
facebook.com/boylevel, BOYLOVELL. Do not ask me why. It was years and years ago, and my nickname stuck.
So if you reach out, just say, "What up, Boy Level?" You're on the inside. See, we're letting you into our inside language. Maybe one day I'll share my nickname. Actually, I wonder how many people know my real full name. That would be an interesting contest to run.
Interesting.
Well,
AJ, what are we gonna cover in the next episode? You got any ideas? Because I have no idea.
It would be a surprise episode.
Why don't we do copywriting?
We could do copywriting.
Oh, well, you're a badass at that. I think we should do that.
You're going to let all my secrets out the bag. All right, we'll do copywriting. We'll share, how to convert with words, and we'll dig into the 7 things you need in order to create a high response Facebook post or web post.
And there is a chance that I will do the alphabet, because we're doing copywriting, in little people's voice. So, abagada efaja. And we'll see if I can do it all the way to the end, because I don't reckon I can.
All I can think about now is Disney's "It's a Small, Small World."
AJ won't be singing again. We'll see you next time on another episode of The Fitpreneurs. We'll see you again, guys.
Guys, thanks for the killer episode. Listen, if you want to take your fitness business to the next level, terminate your competition, create ultimate freedom, buy new houses, cars, which could blow up, travel the world, or open your own gym where you can lift really heavy weights, then head to www.thefitpreneurs.com/free call for details on how to apply for your free accelerator call. Until the next episode, hasta la vista, Fit Pros. Fit Pros. Fit Pros. Fit Pros. Fit Pros. Fit Pros. Fit